Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons today. I'm going to jump into a very interesting video. We're going to dive into trade back candidates. If reports are true, Atlanta might be one of the few teams inside the top 10 looking to trade out. Who could they be targeting with a move back in the first round? Find out in today's video. But of course, before we jump into the actual video, be sure to subscribe down below, which is growing at a crazy rate right now. A lot of new Falcon fans are joining the movement here on Atlanta Falcons today. If you like what you see, you like your Falcons, go down below and hit that red button. All right, we'll start with the 10,000-foot view, and that, of course, is your Falcons draft outlook, as they currently sit with the number 8 overall draft pick inside the top 10. They also have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, and so lots of ammo to make lots of moves and add a lot of players that hopefully can go ahead and improve this roster and get them from very mediocre to maybe a playoff team in what could be a very interesting NFC South. Now, there are reports that there are teams inside the top 10 that want to move back. The question is, do you have dancing partners? Do you have somebody to trade back with? We'll look at some options here in just a couple of minutes, and then, of course, if they do trade back, who could they look to trade back for? That's the point of today's video, so we'll get into that here in just a couple of minutes. First off, again, a look at your picks. You have number 1, your first round pick, 8 overall. You have 2 in the second round, 43 and 58. You have 1 in the third, 74. Then you have 112, 150, 188, and 221 there in the 6th round to round out a grand total of 8 picks for the Falcons. Of course, trading back would net them more, maybe closer to 10 or 11. Now, there are some rumors in terms of teams that might want to come inside the top 10 for various reasons. Here are 5 of the best options, in my opinion. Baltimore at number 14, possibly for a wide receiver. The Saints at 16, possibly for a quarterback, or they might need a wide receiver as well. Chargers at 17, Steelers for a quarterback at number 20, and the Packers for a wide receiver there at number 22. So, just to show you, there's a lot of options for teams that might want to come up all the way to number 8, and of course, you can move back and get their first round draft pick this year, maybe one next year as well. What do you guys think? Should the Falcons trade up or down? Before we get into actual candidates here, type U down below for trade up, or type D down below for trade down. All right, so again, we're thinking about if you move back in the first round, so into the teens, into the 20s, where could you go ahead and fill some needs? Let's start with a wide receiver. How about Jameson Williams? Jameson Williams is probably going to be a first-round draft pick. There are some mock drafts saying he's the second wide receiver taken in this draft. I don't see it. I see him going kind of late teens, early 20s, and so Atlanta could move back and still get a wide receiver who instantly makes their roster a lot better. Now, the reason that he's going to fall and why he wouldn't go inside the top 10, like some people are predicting, is because of the ACL injury, which you guys all saw if you watched any of the big Bama games this past season when it happened later on in the year. He will be ready and fine for the start of the season, but he is going to fall based on that knee injury. Atlanta desperately needs some wide receiver help, and there have been reports saying that Atlanta's going to be aggressive in getting a wide receiver. Do you take one with the number 8 overall draft pick, or do you trade back and still get one, because there are like 5 really good ones here in the first round, and Williams is included in that list. So plenty of options at wide receiver. He is one of the ones. I think Treylon Burks out of Arkansas is another option there, where you move out of number 8, get additional draft picks, and still get a big need there at wide receiver. Before we get into inside linebacker, which I'll show you who you could trade back to go ahead and get, the Falcons hat and t-shirt combo is back and better than ever, and it can be yours right now at chatsports.com/Falcons combo. You get the hat, you get the t-shirt. It's a lot cheaper than getting them separately, and it makes you look good and rep the Falcons during the offseason, during the NFL draft, and of course during the regular season as well. I always say, get your gear during the offseason. It's always a lot cheaper, as you see right here. Link down below in the description box. chatsports.com/Falcons combo is your link to pick up the hat and t-shirt right now. All right, another trade back candidate. How about Nakobe Dean, the inside linebacker out of UGA? Yes, a dog coming into the Atlanta Falcons. That would make some sense. Now, Dean is considered the second best linebacker in this draft behind Devin Lloyd. Some people think the first. I put him at number 2, but very much a day 1 starter and can be the anchor of your defense for many, many years to come. And as you saw, if you're a dog fan or you live in Atlanta and watch the national championship game, he is very much NFL ready. Now, you insert a linebacker here, not because it's a desperate need of the Atlanta Falcons. They just signed Rashawn Evans a couple of days ago, but really this is here if they were to get rid of Deion Jones. And that continues to be kind of the rumblings in Atlanta. A post-June 1st cut or a post-June 1st trade could be an option in terms of getting rid of Deion Jones. He's just getting a little bit too old, a little bit too expensive, and not as productive as you would like. If they do get off of Deion Jones, you could see them trade back and take additional draft picks next year, but also go ahead and get a linebacker and a guy like Nakobe Dean. That's why he's number 4 here on my list. Do you have a player you would trade down in the draft to go ahead and get? Is there someone that you think you could back up in the draft, get additional picks, and pick up? Let me know who that is. Giving you mine right now down below in the comment section right now. All right, next player, number 3 on our list. How about George Karlaftis? How about a pass rusher out of Purdue? I think right now Atlanta is very much looking at pass rusher at number 8 overall. Kayvon Thibodeau is going to, he already did a pre-draft visit to the ATL up there at Flowery Branch. So very easily they can stay put at number 8 and get a pass rusher. But let's say Thibodeau's not there. Hutchinson's gone, Thibodeau's gone. You don't want to spend number 8 overall on Karlaftis because you can get him later on in the first round. If you like him, you can go ahead and bump back into the in the later parts of round 1 and get a guy who is very, very good. Now, production was a little bit lacking there in 2021, but many people do consider him to be a top 5 pass rusher in this draft. Also throw in guys like Trayvon Walker out of UGA. He can make a lot of sense. David Ajabo at one point could have been a trade back candidate. Maybe you get him in round 2, but Karlaftis is one of those first round pass rushers that won't go inside the top 15, and so you can move back, get more picks, and then go ahead and still get your defensive end. All right, let's get into some quarterbacks here because I think this is really where you would think about trading back to get these guys. Let's start with Desmond Ridder, the quarterback out of Cincinnati. There's been a lot of buzz around Desmond Ridder and a lot of buzz around Atlanta and Desmond Ridder. They've gone to his pro day, they've met with him, and so could Ridder make a lot of sense. We'll talk more about him in just 1 second. First, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We mentioned this earlier. 5,300 of you guys have subscribed to Atlanta Falcons today. Trying to get to 6K subs here as quickly as possible. For all the latest draft news, all the latest draft coverage, go down below and subscribe. Now, Ridder is a guy who I think will go in the first round. Whether he's worthy of that or not is irrelevant because, of course, quarterbacks always go, earlier than you think. But Ridder is getting a lot of buzz right now. Completion percentage is fantastic. The touchdowns is really good. I think there's a little bit of durability questions because he is a little bit thin. He is a mobile quarterback. He likes to run around, but he's not going to go inside the top 10. And so you could trade back and still get a quarterback. Let's say Malik Willis goes number 6 overall. Kenny Pickett is gone by number 8. You can move back inside the first round or move back to 15 with Philadelphia. You can move back to 20 with the Steelers and still get a guy like Ridder who won't be ready for day 1, but will be ready for year 2, so you let him sit a year behind Marcus Mariota, and then it makes a lot of sense. Let's run back through quickly here before we get into number 1. Talk about Jameson Williams, the wide receiver out of Alabama. Nakobe Dean, the inside linebacker out of UGA. All trade back candidates for our Atlanta Falcons. Karlaftis, the pass rusher from Purdue. Desmond Ridder there, the quarterback from Cincinnati. And coming in at number 1 is Matt Corral, the Ole Miss quarterback, who I think is very much a dark horse candidate to be one of the early quarterbacks taken in this draft. Obviously going to go in the first round, but he just makes the most sense. I think Corral, if you were to trade back for somebody, is the perfect candidate. He has the arm, he has the talent, he has the SEC pedigree, played against really good defenses, played very well against some of those SEC defenses, not Alabama, but some other ones, and he's going to go inside the top 20. Again, not at number 8, so you could go ahead and trade back, pick up Matt Corral at 17, 18, 19, 20, get your quarterback of the future. He sits a year, and you still have a first-round draft pick next year. You have 2 first-round draft picks next year because you picked up an additional one by trading back. Again, this whole video is all about getting you guys some options to go ahead and take if you want the Falcons to go ahead and move back. And if the Falcons are going to pick Malik Willis at number 8 overall, maybe they don't like him, they can still get the quarterback that they do like, and a guy like Matt Corral, just get him a little bit later and for a better price because, again, he'll be a little bit cheaper because you're getting additional draft picks. It just makes a ton of sense. All right, so again, let's run through these one more time. Jameson Williams, you want a wide receiver, he'll go into the teens to early 20s, trade back, pick him up, and then you have a much improved path-catching offense for whoever the quarterback is going forward. Nakobe Dean, you're going to get rid of Deion Jones? Well, then Nakobe Dean or Devin Lloyd are your guys. 2 options there at inside linebacker for the Falcons. Karlaftis, you want a pass rusher, not a good one available at number 8. Trade back, you still get a good one there in Karlaftis. Ridder is one of the 2 quarterbacks we have as we round out this list. I think Ridder makes a lot of sense later on in the first round, maybe even early second round. And Matt Corral, of course, if you wanted to move back but not too far and still get the guy that could be a future starting quarterback of your franchise. You guys have a favorite player on my list that you'd love to trade back for? Is there one? Let me know who that is. Williams, Dean, Karlaftis, Ridder, or Corral. Go down below and comment right now. Our ultimate day on our Atlanta Falcons news and rumor video here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Plenty of great content coming up next couple of days. And also follow me on Twitter at RealThomasMott. Ton of Falcons related tweets there. So go ahead and give me a follow. For Atlanta Falcons today, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.